Hello and welcome to part 2, the final part of my first series. In this tutorial I will be showing you how we will be doing the materials for the ocean and the plane. We'll be doing the lighting with HDR, and then we'll finally do some compositing, add in a vignette or do some color balance. So let's begin. So this is the starter for this tutorial, or in other words what we ended with last tutorial. So I'll put the link in the description below for you to download. You can download it and carry on from part 2. So let's first do the lighting. So we're going to go to use nodes. Make sure you're in the world. Use nodes. Then this little button over here at the end. Click it next to color. Go to environment texture. Go open. And then go to wherever your sky is. Mine is in my downloads. So cgskies171.jpg. And let's split the window now, and then just T to disable to hide tools. And I'm going to change this to, make sure you're in cycles. Well, you can't add in HDR if you're not in cycles. I'm going to change this to rendered. Might take a while. Okay, let it just load. Okay, so I'm just going to pause it until it's finished building the PVH. Okay, so it's finished building PVH, it's busy rendering. I'm only going to make it render 10 cycles, sorry. Very slow from the software I'm using to record. But, okay, so now it's done. So it looks bland and boring. So now, first of all, before we do anything else, go A to deselect, and then A again to select all. And we want this to face the sun. So rotate Z. Facing the wrong way. Okay, getting there. You gotta rotate everything to match. A little more. A little more. Try and get it as centered as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna settle with that. So now, ocean looks rubbish. Okay, so now we're gonna make it look like an ocean, of course. So select the ocean, one of the plates as I call them. This is gonna take a while. Now go to the materials and give it a new material. And let me just maximize my sticky notes so I can see exactly what properties it must have. Okay, so it must be a glass BSDF, and then just set the IOR to 1.33. You can already see a drastic difference between that and behind it. So now this is so slow. Now in the first tutorial I said if it slows down, you can uncheck outline selected. I'm going to do that now to speed up. because this is just unusable. So you won't be able. I'll tell you what I'm selecting. So select this plane, back plane. Actually, no, you need that outline selected because I can't show you what I'm selecting. Select all of these planes until you get to the one with the material on. Make sure that's in light orange, which means it's parent. Then go Control L and say make links material. And now let's see what it brings us here. Do I literally have to move the camera? Okay, sometimes I find you have to move the camera around even until it will finally pick up what you're trying to do. Just right click to cancel movements. Okay, there we go, perfect. Now we have it. Okay, so there you can see a very, very good, nice ocean. It looks great. You can call it done if you want. But I found it's better if I take this bottom plane and I give it a glossy material. And why am I doing this? Well, a ocean is not, you can't see the other side of the world in it. This is basically acting as the ocean floor, this plane. So we want this in. So make it glossy. The color must be 0.124, 0.124, 0.124, and that's pretty nice. And the roughness should be 0.2, and it gives us a pretty nice result. I just liked it more with plain. I'm just waiting. Okay, so it doesn't look that bad, and I'm not 100% sure even why the plane having it reflective makes a difference and all of that. I just assume it's reflecting the light that comes off the HDR through the water back up and hitting the water again to create almost depth in the water, almost, because you can almost see depth in. So you could call this finished, but it does not look right. So how about depth of field? That no photo, I think every single photo has depth of field in. So go to top view and go to orthographic, and then click where you want your depth of field to be. So I want it to be right here in the middle. It's best place in the middle of the first plate. Now go Shift A, add in a empty. Now if we look, it's in the middle or wherever you wanted your depth, your point of focus to be. Now select the camera and go to here under depth of field in cycles. You can do it before you render. I'm in BI, I'm not sure, but I think you had to do it in the compositor. But you can do it now in before you render. So here under focus say empty. Okay, and it might like re-render. And then size, I found just change that aperture to radius, and then change this size to 0.02 and wait. Oh, okay, 0.02. Okay, and it gives it a fairly nice blur. So if we look, it just adds that touch of realism that it's small little details that a person does not analyze in a photo really. So just adding those little things make it look much more realistic. So this empty, I can move it. I'm going to go to side view, so numpad 3. Ooh, or 1. Okay. And I'm going to zoom in, and I want that empty to sit on the water. So just select the empty, Z wireframe, and just drag it somewhere like there. Now I'm going to drag the camera so that this preview renderer figures out it needs to re-render. And I don't know if it looks better. It's just, preference. I like it having on sitting on the water. So now you can see here is blurred. That horizon has a bit of a blur in it. Um, it really contributes. So we've played enough, I think, with the render part of it. So also you can render it in full HD, so 100% or whatever resolution you like. I'm doing it in 100, sorry, percent. And then go under to the integrator, and I think you can do safely. I did 1,000 passes for this, 1,000 cycles, and you can see it turned out very nice. But for time's sake, in this tutorial, I think I'm going to stick to 250 passes. So a quarter, but it should still look good. I saw that at about 170, if I remember correct. It still looked good. I just wanted to see how high I could go, how far my patience would go with the render. So I'm going to render it 250 samples, and the preview leave it at 10. And now make sure everything's right, no lamps in your scene. So you should have removed those. We must not have lamps in our scene. Rule. And that's about it. If we look at everything. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to render. I'm going to pause because this is going to take a while. And when it's done, we'll go to the compositing. See you now. It's going to take a while. Okay, so I'll see you now. Don't forget to saving as, because I'm actually working off my Dropbox where I host my files. I'm working actually right off there, so it will overwrite your starter file if I change this. Okay, so I'll see you now. This is going to take a while. Also, just if you want to speed up time, just join this area, because now this site's also going to render. So just join it, and then it should speed up a little. So I'll see you now. Goodbye. Okay, so as you can see, it's finished rendering. Took 43 minutes, so I wasn't very happy with. Got a bit impatient at times, but yeah. So it's finished. As you can see, it looks very, very, very nice. If we actually go and we open another image, let's go open image, and let's go open the one I said we're going to start with. Let's compare them. So that render result. Okay, so you can see it's very similar. This is just has some color correction and a vignette, which we are going to do now. So go back to the render result. So now I'm going to go control left arrow. Don't forget to save, by the way. So save constantly. So control left arrow, go to the compositing window. You can also change here and go you make sure you are in the here on this layers, viewing the layer nodes, and then enable nodes and say auto render and backdrop. Now the backdrop, if you don't know what it is, it means that we can go here, Shift A, output, viewer, and it means we can basically just drag in the image into there and we can see it. And now you'll realize we can't zoom in and out, so to do that just go V or Alt V. Okay, so that's how you zoom in and out of your backdrop. So I'm gonna go like that, and this composite node I'm just gonna move out of the way, because actually I'm gonna delete it, because I'm first gonna fix it up in the with the viewer node, and then we'll do some compositing. So let's add in a color correct, no, color balance. So Shift A, just like 3D view, for those of you who are new, add color and color balance. Okay, change it to lift, gamma, and gain, and then the lift should be I got the hex color here. The lift should be EFF0FF. Basically R 0.937, green 0.941, and blue 1. Okay, so now that the lift, I'm not sure what each of these stand for. I've just realized that it looks nice if the lift is a cool color and the gamma is a warm color. Now where am I getting these hex colors from? Well, I won't lie, I actually have the other blend on my other screen that I'm getting the colors from. So lift, cold color, gamma, warm color, hex color. If you want to change hex color, just go here. Hex color is FFFFF5. Okay, and then finally the gain is also a warmish color. I found works nice, and we'll just paste that in here, and it gives us a very nice color correction. So let's compare before and after. So Shift D, that's viewer, and as far as if I remember correct, you can preview what it looks like by clicking on the viewer node. So color corrected, not color corrected. There, you can see the difference now. There, so it looks much nicer color corrected. And yeah, so there's the comparison for you. Now we want to do a vignette, and in Blender, I don't know why, but you don't get a vignette node. I really think they should have one. But anyways, so a vignette, to make it, first we need to distort. So we need to, a vignette basically, if we look in our previous, a vignette basically is like an oval. And to do that, we need to go back to where we are now, and we need to Shift A. First we need to distort it so that we can get a circle, so that will be under distort and lens distortion. Drag that there and set the distort to 1, and it should bend it like an oval now. There, perfect. It's exactly what we want. So now don't worry about these, they are not important right now. You can see they do all kinds of different stuff, but what we want now is a greater than, and I'm not taking credit for coming up with this. I actually unfortunately can't remember. I learned it in some other tutorial a while ago. So yeah, I just found out about it a while ago. I can't remember where or who made it up, but anyways, thanks to whoever did. So now we want a math node, so that's under converter math, and change that to greater than. So down here, second last one, greater than with a value of 0. Just like that. So you see, we have the black outline and the white inside. Now you probably guessed it already, we need to blur it. So add in filter, blur, and drag it there. And now it's changed to fast Gaussian and relative. Now it's important you select relative. If we do this, it won't, it doesn't matter what resolution you render it at, it will still be like a 50 pixels. And we don't want that, so we want it at relative and 20. This means that it doesn't matter how big the image is, this will always be blurred 20%. So I think about 20 is fine for now. We can always change it now. And then let's add in a screen. So that would be under color, mix, and change this mix to screen. Whoops, wrong one. Screen. And so now plug this in the bottom one. Okay? And now what we're doing here, this top color defines the color of our vignette. So we can have a green vignette or anything, but black vignette looks natural, in my opinion. So I'm just gonna go with the black. And now we just need a multiply. Now this is where I got very confused. You get two multiplies. You get under the converter, you get a math multiply. And look what it does. If we do that, this one must always go in the bottom, by the way. So just drag it in the bottom. This one in the top, and it must go to the color correct. But now look what happens with the multiply. We get a black and white image. And for those of you who want a black and white image, there's your solution. I'm sure you can just otherwise also turn it black and white. But that is confusing. There's a math multiply node. Let me show you. And there's a color multiply. And you might be going, Ivan, that's a bit stupid. It's kind of obvious. Yeah, I know it is kind of obvious, but I got mixed up on it. So just drag that image there, the factor to 1, and the screen to here. Whoopsie. And we have our vignette. And I'm just going to change this to 25 by 25, actually. And actually, what did I use on this one? Yeah, here I used a group, but I want to show you how to do it. Yeah, it was a 20 by 20. Okay, so just a 20 by 20, which is here. Okay, and we basically have almost exactly the same result. Or 20 by 20. Yeah, 20 by 20 is going to be the best. And we basically now have exactly the same results. You can see how long is this video? It's been 23 minutes. So that's just over 40 minutes to make a realistic ocean. Very simple materials, shaders, and then this compositing might look complex, but it's actually simple. So I hope you enjoyed this video, because I definitely enjoyed coming over this technique by accident. I did. And I hope if you make any works like oceans, please leave them in the comments. I really want to see what you do with this. Thanks for watching my tutorial, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.